Welcome back to Klepper's Corner, the show that asks, is the world on fire, or did we just accidentally open Elon Musk's Notes app again? Today is July 11, 2025, and folks, if you like your global chaos with a side of crypto and a sprinkle of lunar dirt, you're in the right place. We've got Gaza in flames, China and the U.S. in a dance-off, and NVIDIA straight up moonwalking into a $4 trillion valuation. So strap in, put your power bank in your carry-on, and let's get weird. Segment 1, Gaza crisis becomes Apocalypse Simulator 2025. In Gaza, things have gone from tragic to we're out of adjectives. Israel says they're increasing humanitarian aid, but the UN says the fuel shipment they received doesn't even last a full day. It's like trying to stop a wildfire with a Capri Sun. Only 40% of Gaza's water facilities work, which means their hydration strategy has devolved into drinking tears and hope. And where does aid go? Apparently to the lucky few who can dodge drone strikes while standing in line. The UN documented nearly 800 Palestinians killed while seeking aid. One strike hit a line outside a clinic where children were waiting for nutritional supplements. Because nothing says counterterrorism like blowing up a toddler with a juice box. Israel says it's targeting Hamas. Gaza says they're targeting humanity. And then we have the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation shutting down almost all aid sites except one in Rafah. That's like Amazon saying we now deliver to only one porch in America. Good luck, peasants. Meanwhile, Israel's defense minister wants to relocate 2.1 million Palestinians to a humanitarian city in Rafah. Because when you run out of ideas, apparently you just rename internment camps as real estate developments. Legal experts called it a potential crime against humanity, while Trump called it a terrific idea that I came up with first, folks. Voluntary, super voluntary. Segment 2, diplomacy, tariffs, and a 4D chessboard with missing pieces. Secretary of State Marco Rubio met with China's Wang Yi in Malaysia, and they both agreed the meeting was constructive, which is diplomat speak for no one flipped the table. Meanwhile, Trump skipped the niceties and just slammed down new tariffs like he's playing Uno, but every card says draw 25%. Japan and South Korea got surprised 25% tariffs, while Canada, bless their poutine hearts, got threatened with 35% over, you guessed it, fentanyl. Because Trump thinks Canadians are sneaking drugs into America inside hockey pucks. Brazil's president threatened to slap a 50% tariff back, and India is sending diplomats to Washington with the hopes of trading soybeans for genetically modified cows. This is less trade policy and more The Bachelor World Trade Edition. Segment 3, Ukraine and Iran, because we didn't have enough conflicts this week. Ukraine is still in the blender. Russia launched 700 drones and 13 missiles overnight, which is more than most teenagers use on TikTok in a week. Trump pledged to renew arms shipments to Ukraine, and Russia immediately upped its air raids, like a toddler throwing a tantrum when dad says no more candy. And speaking of tantrums, Israel says if Iran tries to access its surviving nuclear material, they'll bomb again. So basically, we're one Geiger counter beep away from another regional war. Segment 4. Markets dive while NVIDIA flies. Markets dipped because Trump woke up and decided diplomacy was for nerds. The Dow dropped over 300 points, the S&P sank, and the NASDAQ took a hit. But NVIDIA said, hold my GPU, and hit a $4 trillion valuation. That's right. The same company that used to make graphics cards for Fortnite now leads the S&P 500. Bitcoin also hit $118,000 because when the dollar panics, crypto says, y'all still believe in governments? Cute. Segment 5, science. Diseases from 6,500 years ago and AI that builds itself. Scientists discovered ancient pathogens in prehistoric humans, including the oldest known plague. Apparently, even cavemen had to deal with Tuesday sniffles. Meanwhile, AI is designing bacteria-killing proteins in seconds. It used to take decades. That would got AI crafting designer drugs like a molecular Martha Stewart, and even created a synthetic protein called de novo 1 that kills antibiotic-resistant E. coli. At this rate, your next prescription will be written by ChatGPT wearing a lab coat and holding a pipette. Segment 6, lithium batteries, moon rocks, and energy-efficient AI. The FAA says no more lithium batteries in checked bags because, surprise, Power banks can turn your flight into an episode of Mythbusters. Airlines now ban high-capacity batteries in luggage, which means your vape pen has officially become a federal hazard. And in space news, China's Chang'e 6 mission brought back moon rocks from the far side. Turns out the moon's backside is weirder than Elon Musk's Twitter feed. NASA, not to be outdone, is working on a moon rover with a built-in mineral detector. So basically, the moon is turning into West Virginia, but with better gravity. Segment 7, immigration drama and legal theater. In California, immigration agents raided a farm with helicopters, camo gear, and enough gas masks to stage Coachella for fascists. Protesters were sprayed, people vanished, and DHS said it was just about a marijuana facility, because apparently the most urgent threat to national security is tomatoes with green cards. Meanwhile, a federal judge blocked Trump's order ending birthright citizenship. Is now heading back to the Supreme Court, which may soon rule whether being born here actually counts. Segment 8, entertainment. Sharks, Sanskrit, and Tyler Perry. If you need an escape, today's OTT lineup is stacked. Netflix dropped a romantic comedy about a Sanskrit professor falling for a French teacher. Apple TV is giving us Foundation Season 3, where space empires collapse, but with better costumes. And Medea's back, this time at a destination wedding in the Bahamas. Because if you can't fix society, at least you can watch Tyler Perry scream at it in drag. Oh, and there's a 50th anniversary Jaws documentary. You know, to remind us that even back in the 70s, our biggest fear was a massive unstoppable force with lots of teeth. Today, we just call that the GOP. So that's July 11th, 2025, a day where war crimes, AI breakthroughs, market chaos, and Medea all shared the same spotlight. If you're wondering whether the world's ending or evolving, the answer is probably yes. Until next time, keep your brains plugged in, your carry-ons under 100 watt-hours, and your moral compass pointing somewhere vaguely human. This has been Klepper's Corner. Good night, good luck, and somebody check on Canada. I think they're building a tariff-proof igloo.